चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पदा सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। एवरीबॉडी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। So we all will recite Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 3 times together. हम सब साथ में recite करेंगे। Wherever you are, sit straight, neck in the line with the back. Keep your eyes closed. If you remember the mantra, and we all will chant together Om, then Namo, then Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining us today. So every week we read something from either Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. तो आज हम भगवद गीता का एक 8वां अध्याय है, बहुत सुंदर अध्याय है। भगवान अर्जुन को शिक्षाएं दे रहे हैं भगवद गीता में। भगवद गीता इज अ कंप्लीट साइंस ऑफ भक्ति योगा। भगवान अर्जुन को भक्ति के बारे में बता रहे हैं। पहले 6 अध्याय में भगवान कर्मयोग के द्वारा भक्ति कैसे की जाती है उसके बारे में बता रहे हैं। बीच के 6 अध्याय है, अध्याय 7 से 12, इसमें भगवान सीधा भक्ति योग, डायरेक्ट भक्ति योग के बारे में, डायरेक्टली अबाउट भक्ति। And in the last 6th chapter, Lord Krishna talks about bhakti through jnana. In the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna talks to Arjuna about Vibhuti Yoga, where he explains his opulences to Arjuna. And in that chapter, Lord Krishna explains how he is situated everywhere. He says, Rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhashmi sasi shuryaha. Rasoham, rasa means taste. Rasoham apsu, apsu is the water. The taste of water comes from Krishna. Actually, science describes water as a tasteless, odorless and colorless substance. That is what scientists say. Does water have a taste? How will you say yes? Water has a taste? Water has no taste. If you taste the water, अगर आप पानी कोई मिनरल वाटर पिएंगे, जैसे झरने में से पानी, बहुत मीठा पानी रहता है। आप जहां जाएंगे, everywhere the taste of water is different actually. Taste of water in India at different places is different. Is that correct? So does water have a taste? Yes, water has a taste. And you can feel the taste when you are exactly thirsty. So water has a taste. So Lord Krishna says, Rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi sashishuryaha. The light of sun, the light of moon, everything comes from Krishna. So Krishna, the fragrance of earth, that also comes from Krishna. So everything, all the living, non-living, everything comes from Krishna. And then at the end of the 7th chapter, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, you can repeat after me, Jara marana mokshaya, Jara marana mokshaya, Mama ashritya yatantiye, Mama ashritya yatantiye. One more time. Jara marana mokshaya, Mama ashritya yatantiye. So भगवान अर्जुन को कह रहे हैं सब अपनी विभूति के बारे में, वेयर लॉर्ड कृष्णा इज सिचुएटेड। भगवान सभी जगह है, सब कुछ भगवान से ही, वहां से ही आ रहा है ना? तो भगवान कहते हैं कि ये सब कुछ जानने के बाद जो मेरा आश्रय लेता है, माम आश्रित्य यतन्तिये, तो उसका क्या होता है? जरा, जरा यानी ओल्ड एज, और मरण यानी मृत्यु। मोक्षाय, मोक्षाय यानी फ्रीडम। आफ्टर नोइंग दैट एवरीथिंग कम्स फ्रॉम कृष्णा, अगर हम भगवान का शरण लेते हैं, भगवान कृष्ण का, माम, माम मीन्स कृष्ण, भगवान अर्जुन को कहते हैं, तो उसका क्या होता है? मरण और बुढ़ापा। बुढ़ापा भी एक बहुत तकलीफ देने वाली चीज है, बहुत तकलीफ होती है। व्हेन यू ग्रो ओल्ड द लाइफ इज नॉट इजी। ओल्ड एज इज नॉट फन। जब आप बेड में रहते हैं, आप उठ नहीं सकते हैं, बाथरूम नहीं जा सकते हैं, और घर वाले आपका ध्यान भी नहीं दे सकते। सब लोग बिजी है ना आजकल। इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट। भगवान कहते हैं द इंटेलिजेंट पर्सन हु आर एंडेवरिंग फॉर लिबरेशन फ्रॉम द ओल्ड एज एंड डेथ टेक रेफ्यूज इन मी। हाँ, कैसा होता है कि जैसे हमारी मृत्यु हो जाती है, बाद में क्या होता है? वापस जन्म होता है ना? एवरीबडी नोज दिस। दिस इज कॉल्ड एज पुनर्जन्म, री इनकारनेशन। हाँ, जैसे अभी हमारा ये जन्म है, कुछ साल के बाद ये शरीर क्या हो जाएगा? एक्सपायर। फिर आत्मा को दूसरा शरीर मिलेगा। फिर बाद में जब दूसरा शरीर मिलता है तो क्या होता है? तो बाद में वही साइकिल, बचपन में स्कूल में जाओ, फिर कॉलेज, फिर यूनिवर्सिटी, फिर थंडर पे आओ, फिर थोड़े बच्चे पैदा करो, एक आधा घर बनाओ, और फिर वापस बूढ़े होके मर जाओ, फिर वापस दूसरा साइकिल। हाँ, कभी मनुष्य, कभी पशु, कभी पक्षी, चल रहा है सब, और लोग ऐसे ही घूम रहे हैं। लेकिन जो बुद्धिमान मनुष्य है वो क्या सोचता है? बार बार क्यों जन्म लेना है? इस जन्म मैं भगवान के लिए करूंगा। क्यों? क्योंकि भगवान कहते हैं भगवद गीता में कि माम आश्रित यतन्ति ये, अगर मेरा आश्रय ले लिया तो आपको मोक्ष मिलेगा। आगे भगवान कहते हैं 30वें श्लोक के 7वें अध्याय में, साधिभूता आदिदैव मां साधियज्ञ ये विदु प्रयाण काले अपि च मां ते विदुर्युक्त चेतसा। प्रयाण काल मीन्स, काल मीन्स समय। एक समय ऐसा आएगा कि आपको प्रयाण करना पड़ेगा। प्रयाण यानी छोड़ना पड़ेगा सब कुछ, है ना? यू विल हैव टू डाई। प्रयाण काल, प्रयाण मीन्स टू गो अवे और डेथ। एक समय ऐसा आएगा कि जब सब कुछ छोड़ना पड़ेगा, कंपल्सरीली। देयर इज नो चॉइस। नोबडी कैन स्टे एवर हियर, है ना? कोई रह सकता है? तो भगवान कहते हैं, हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण। कैन यू रीड जिष्णु in English?
Those in full consciousness of me, who know me, the Supreme Lord, to be the governing principle of the material manifestation of the demigods and of all methods of sacrifice, can understand and know me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even at the time of death.
Prayan Kala. It is very important to remember Krishna at the time of death. सो अर्जुना, फिर आगे भगवान कहते हैं कि जो जो मेरी भक्ति करेंगे वो मुझे प्रयाण काल, अंत समय मुझे याद कर पाएंगे। तो अर्जुन 8वें अध्याय में भगवान को प्रश्न करते हैं, हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्ण। कैन यू ऑल रिपीट द श्लोक आफ्टर मी? इट सेज, प्रयाण काले च कथम, प्रयाण काले च कथम ज्ञेयसि नियत आत्मभिः, ज्ञेयसि नियत आत्मभिः। अर्जुन भगवान को कहते हैं, हे भगवान, बताइए मुझे कि जो आपकी भक्ति में लगे हुए हैं वो अंत में आपको कैसे याद करेंगे? हाउ कैन वन रिमेंबर यू एट द टाइम ऑफ डेथ? तो भगवान कहते हैं अर्जुन को, अंत काले च मामेव शरणमुक्त्वा कलेवरम् यः प्रायति समद्भावाम् यति नास्ति अत्र संशय। तो भगवान कहते हैं कि हे अर्जुन, जो मुझे अंत समय में याद करता है, प्रयाण काल, उसका क्या होता है? यह प्रायति समद्भावाम, वो भगवान के धाम, भगवान का जो भाव है, धाम है, भगवान का जो नेचर है, वहां पे पहुंच जाते हैं। एंड whosoever at the end of his life quits this body remembering me alone, me means Krishna alone, alone at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. Na asti atra samshaya. We all have a doubt whether this is true or false. So Krishna is saying there is no doubt. You will come to me without doubt. Now, to remember Krishna is very difficult at the time of death. Because when we are quitting this body, जब आत्मा शरीर से बाहर निकलती है तब बहुत दर्द होता है. In the Mundak Upanishad it is described that at the time of death there is a severe pain, and the pain at the time of death is equal to if 10,000 scorpions biting you at the same time. 10,000 बिच्छू अगर आपको एक साथ काटे, और जितना दर्द होता है उतना दर्द मृत्यु के समय होता है. तो मृत्यु के समय भगवान का नाम याद आना बड़ा मुश्किल है ना. मृत्यु के समय साधारणतः आप देखते हैं कि लोगों की आंखें खुली रह जाती है, किसी का मुंह खुला रह जाता है, कोई यूरिन पास करता है, कोई स्टूल पास करता है. लेकिन भगवान यहाँ पे, भगवद गीता एक शास्त्र ऐसा है जिसमें भगवान दोनों शिक्षाएं दे रहे हैं. कौन सी दोनों शिक्षाएं? जीवन जीने की कला, आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग, हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा, और एंड ऑल्सो आर्ट ऑफ डाइंग. बोथ, टू इन वन, आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग एंड हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा. प्लीज कम, हैव अ सीट. Isaac, welcome.
Thank you.
You look different and better.
I feel different. Beard to lunch first.
Welcome, nice to see you. So Bhagavad Gita is a science, teachings about art of living and art of dying. We need both actually. We need to know how to get a job and how to quit the job, so you can get a better job. Is that right? We all are here for betterment, is that right? So Hare Krishna. So Bhagavan Krishna is telling to Arjuna, if you really want to elevate yourself spiritually and materially, then he is telling us about art of living and art of quitting. Quitting this. Everybody has to quit the house. When you are staying in a rental property, then whenever the owner wants, he can ask you to leave. And if you don't vacate, then what will happen? He will come behind you. He will vacate you. Similarly, in this body is the house for soul. This body is just like a rental property. We did not create this property. Somebody else created it. Who created this body? Krishna gave all the basic elements. So we have to be very careful. So if you want to achieve the success of this life, then Krishna says that prayan antakale cha mam eva ante narayana smriti, which means that when we are quitting this body, our mind should be focused. When you are giving examination in the school, college, university, what is required? In the exam, there is no here, there looking, just focus. Is that right? Then you can remember everything and give the exam and pass. The success of the life is at the time of quitting the body. at the time of examination. The life is the preparation, and quitting the body, death is a examination. Everybody has to appear for this examination. Is that correct or wrong? Any choice? No exam? Everybody has to appear. Now, when is the examination day? Nobody knows it. Oh, that's a good question. Exam can be other life examination. There are dates also available. This date, this, that. But here, in the real life, there is no examination. It can come at even now. Are you all ready to quit? There was one man, his name was Kailash. What was his name? So Kailash, one time Narad Muni came to see Kailash, and he offered respects to Narad Muni. Now you know Narad Muni, right? Everybody knows Narad Muni. Bhagwan ke priya bhakta hai. So Narad Muni asked Kailash, "Kaise ho Kailash?" Sab theek hai. Narad Muni, "Aap kahan ja rahe ho? Where are you going?" "I'm going to Vaikuntha to see Lord Vishnu." Narad Muni says, "Do you want to come with me, Kailash?" No, I can't come. Why? Oh, I have my family, my children, my wife, I have to look after them, my business. Okay, I will come after a few days. Few years passed and Narad Muni came back asking Kailash, "How are you, Kailash?" "I'm doing fine. I'm going to see Lord Vishnu. Do you want to come to Vaikuntha?" No. What is the problem now? Children have grown up, but now I have to get them married. Okay, I will come after a few years. After a few years, Narad Muni came back. "How are you, Kailash?" "I'm doing fine." "You want to come to Vaikuntha?" No. What is problem now? He said, "Children are married, but now they are not looking after the business nicely. I have to look after it. Give me some more time, I will come." Okay. So after a few years, Narad Muni came back. And what does Narad Muni see? Kailash was dead. And everybody in his home, there was a small picture of Kailash. He was dead. And as Narad Muni was walking outside the house, a dog was barking. Bhaw, bhaw, bhaw. "Oh, Kailash, you've taken a form of a dog. What are you doing here?" Because he got reincarnated as a dog. Why he got reincarnated as a dog? Because at the time of death, he was remembering family, money. So ultimately he had to come back. So he was protecting, as a dog, he was protecting his family and the property. So Narad Muni said, "You want to come with me? I'm going to..." No. Are you have got dog body now. What is the problem? I have to protect my family. You see, this is called Maya. Maya means attachment for the things which are not real, actually. We all think that this body is real, but it is not. Because if it is real, it should stay the same. Like sun is real. So every day we see the same sun. It does not change. Does sun change? We see sunset and sunrise, but that is relative to us because the earth is rotating. Sun is always there. It never sets. If it is real, it stays. But one which is illusion, it changes its form. Right? So after a few days, Narad Muni left from there. Kailash is now dog protecting his family. And he refused to go with Narad Muni because he's so much attached to the family, he doesn't want to quit. So after a few days, Narad Muni went and came back to see what the Kailash is doing in the form of a dog. But the dog was Gayab. He was not there. But Narad Muni, as he was walking through the fields, he saw a snake hissing at Narad Muni. Narad Muni, "Oh Kailash, How come you got a snake body now? He said, I'm protecting this field because my kids are not looking after the field even. The snakes are there in the field, So Narad Muni went and he said, I must teach him a lesson now. So he went and told his son that in the field there is a big snake which is very poisonous. Hare Krishna. So his son came with a stick and beat him to death. Why? Because they thought it's a poisonous snake. So you see, the attachments are like that. So it is very difficult to remember Krishna at the time of death because all the time we have been thinking about the family and money and this and that. So Krishna says, Anta kale cha mama eva smaram muktva kalevaram yaha prayati samad bhavam yati nasti atra samshaya. Isaac, you want to read that loudly for me?
And whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt.
If you remember Krishna at the time of death, you can remember in examination only if you study regularly. Otherwise, it's not possible. So what do we do? Every day, remember Krishna. How do we remember Krishna every day? Can we all do together? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bhagavan Krishna tells to Arjuna further, you may repeat after me, Yam Yam Vapi Smarana Bhavam Tyajante Kalevaram Tamatamai Vaiti Kaunteya Sada Tad Bhava Bhavita. भगवान कृष्ण आगे इलोबरेट कर रहे हैं उसको अर्जुन को बता रहे हैं इज टेलिंग हिम whatever the state of being one remembers when he quits his body, oh son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail, guarantee, whatever you remember. So if you remember your family members and friends, you will come back in the same family, either as a human or as a dog or a snake or maybe a small reptile, you don't know, whatever it is. So whatever you remember at the time, as I said, it's life is a preparation and the death is examination. There's a nice story of Maharaj Bharat. Maharaj Bharat's story is this life is a preparation for next life. We are all planning for our future at this time. Even though you are not planning, you are planning. Whatever the karmas we are doing at this time is deciding our next body for sure. Maharaj Bharat was a great king. He was son of no, this is a different Bharat actually. Maharaj Bharat, there are four. One Bharat is of Maharaj Dashrath's son. Other son is Dushyanta and Shakuntala's son. And third Bharat. This is the first one, first of those, after whose name India is called Bharatvarsha. And he is the son of first Tirthankar of Jain Sampradaya. What is his name? Rishabdev. Rishabdev's son is Bharat. And after his name, the whole India is called Bharat. So this is the story of that Bharat. Rishabdev's son Bharat. So Bharat Maharaj Bharat was a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. And at the age he retired from his material life and he went to the forest for doing tapasya, austerity. When he was doing austerity, he saw a lion attacking a pregnant deer. So he went to save the deer. And actually, when lion was attacking mother deer who was pregnant, the mother deer jumped over the lake and she ran away. But then, while jumping over the lake, she delivered because fear, So she delivered the baby, and there was nobody to look after the baby deer. So Maharaj Bharat, being very kind, looked after the deer. Now, while he was looking after the deer, he got attached to the deer. So he was looking after the food, accommodation, making sure the baby deer is safe. He used to keep him with in his ashram, and he was all the time taking care of the deer. So what happens when you look after a pet? You become attached to it. You become a part of your family, right? So you become so much attached to the deer that now one who quit everything, but now got attached to the deer. One day in the evening, while Maharaj Bharat went to forest, he became late in the dark night, and when Maharaj Bharat came back, uh, the deer was missing. So he couldn't find the deer. So he went into the forest to look for the deer, and he went deep into the forest. He could not find, but then it was dark pitch night, and there was a valley. So Maharaj Bharat fell into the valley. But when he fell into the valley, he suddenly saw a deer, baby deer. But actually, he died at that time. So at the time of death, he was remembering a deer. So in the next life, Maharaj Bharat became a deer actually. That's the katha from Srimad Bhagavatam. So whatever the stage you remember, oh Kunti, you become like that. So here is the Maharaj Bharat, and when he died, he was remembering a deer. So next life he became a deer, but in the deer life, he knew that, oh, in my previous life, I did not do a good job at the time of examination, at the time of death. So then, in that life as a deer, he stayed around the hermitage, ashram of all the sages. And he made sure that he is around the devotees, You might have seen some videos where some animals are situated around a temple or there because they have a memory from the previous life. And they get this chance of liberation. So that Maharaj Bharat then in the next life became Jad Bharat. And there is a beautiful story of Jad Bharat. So this story is an example, what Krishna says here, that our state of mind is very important actually at the time of quitting. And that is a critical moment. So how can one have a proper state of mind when we are quitting this body? It's a very, very important question which Lord Krishna is answering here. So how can we have a proper state of mind when we are about to give our examination? Everybody has to give examination. There is no option here. So would you like to prepare yourself for that moment? Yes or no? How many of you want to prepare yourself for the examination? Shri Shri Gaur Nitai, Shri Shri Sitaram, Lakshman Hanuman, Shri Shri Radha, Vijayvatsal, Shri Shri Jagannath, Shri Shri Baldev, Subhadra Mata, Shri Raj Dharani, Shri Prabhupada. So the question is, how can we prepare for the ultimate examination? So Lord Krishna is explaining here, he is giving the instructions. Can you all repeat after me? Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhya cha mayyarpita mano buddhir mamai vashyasi asamshaya. Lord Krishna is saying tasmat. Tasmat means therefore. So when you conclude, you want to emphasize something, you say Therefore, I'm telling you, please do like this. So he's saying, therefore, Arjuna, sarveshu kaleshu. Sarveshu means all the time. Kaleshu. Mama anusmarana. Mama means me. Me means Krishna. Anusmarana. Remembrance, thinking. Yudhyacha. So Lord Krishna is saying, therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me, Krishna, and at the same time, carry out your prescribed duty. Arjuna was a Kshatriya. His duty was to fight, protect. So Lord Krishna is explaining us that we should always remember Krishna and carry out our daily duty. Whatever the duties you are doing, maybe father, as a mother, as a husband, as a wife, as a doctor, as an engineer, whatever is your duty, doesn't matter. But how do we do the duty? Mam anusmarana. Always remembering Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So first instruction is, whatever duty we have been assigned, you do it. You can't quit the duty. But at the same time, practice what is required for the examination. That is remembrance. And then, Mayyarpita mano buddhir. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me means Krishna. You will attain me without doubt. So here Krishna is giving a very simple technique how can we pass this examination. It's a very simple formula. What is the formula to pass the examination? First is, you don't have to quit your job. Whatever the job you have, do it. But how do you do it? Remember Krishna. Whatever the chance you have, remember Krishna. And then, with your activities dedicated to me. So whatever activity you have been assigned, you think that I am doing this for Krishna. Say you are sweeping the floor. While sweeping the floor, you remember Krishna, then that sweeping activity becomes bhakti. If you are cooking, you remember Krishna. If you are walking, you remember Krishna. You go for a hike, you remember Krishna. Whatever you do, you remember Krishna. And our mind and intelligence fixed on Krishna. Maya arpita mana and buddhir. Mind and intelligence has to be engaged in thinking about Krishna. Then you will go to Krishna without, no, there is no doubt about it. So, Lord Krishna is saying that always sarveshu, tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmarana yudhyacha maya arpita mano buddhir mam eva shashi asamshaya. There is no doubt about it. You have to always remember Krishna by whatever activity we are doing. Always remember Krishna. So there is one formula. Always remember and never forget Krishna. Is that simple? Always remember and never forget. How do you do that? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Further, Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna, how do we pass this examination? So first formula he gave in the 8.7. Now further Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna, can you repeat after me? Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanyagamina paramam purusham divyam yathi partha anuchintayan. So Lord Krishna further is explaining, he who meditates on me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Paramam Purusham Divyam. Krishna is a Parama Purusha. And he is a Divyam. He is not an ordinary person like you or me. Krishna is a Parama Purusha, Divya. So when we remember Krishna as a person, and Abhyasa Yoga Yuktena, there is a yoga. Yoga means it's a practice where you align your mind, intelligence, body, soul with super soul, with Paramatma. So with Abhyasa means, yes, everyday practice. Practice makes man perfect. Every day. Abhyasa means every day we have to practice. What do you practice every day? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Every day we have to make sure we dedicate certain time for the practice. Is that right? रोज जप करना बहुत जरूरी है. We must do japa. Japa means you take a beat, sincerely you take a beat like this. Sincerely with your heart and soul. Sit at one place, quiet area where nobody is there to disturb you. Take a japa and make sure you finish 108 without any interruption, which means no phone calls, no nothing in between, no watching TV, nothing like that. And one round of japa. How long it takes? Anybody? 8 minutes. If you are new, maybe if you are new, maybe taking 10 minutes. But as if you are experienced, it might take 6.5 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes. How do you do it? You just hold. Very simple. It's not a very complicated science. Just hold with middle finger, thumb, and each beat sincerely pray to Krishna that Krishna, I'm here to serve you. Can you please give me a chance that I want to serve you? So this is the mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Like that, you keep on chanting for 108 times on a bead bag. Why do you need the beads? You can do it without beads also, but you need the beads so you have an account. You are responsible, right? So you take a vow that at least 108, and then some of the kids which who come to our Sunday kids program, some of them they started with 0, and now some of the kids are chanting 6 rounds every single day. They are less than 12 years of age. So it's really possible for everybody. Even the kids can do it. How about we all are grown up, right? How many of you want to practice this? Yeah. It's not very complicated, not time consuming, even 10 minutes a day. Can you all afford? Yes. I think you all can, right? And why are we doing this? Because Krishna is giving us the formula. It's nothing, I'm not giving anything from my pocket. So Lord Krishna is saying, Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanya na anya. Nanya means na anya. Na means not. Anya means other. Gamina means getting deviated. So without deviation, just think about Krishna. Then what is the name? Yati parthanu chintaya. So he who meditates on me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, mind engaged constantly in remembering Krishna, undeviated from the path, he, O Partha, is sure to reach me. You all want to go to Krishna Loka? How many of you want to go to Krishna? You didn't ask me why should we go to Krishna. What is wrong with this material world? What is the wrong here? Attachments. This material world is full of suffering, right? Everybody is suffering. Somebody is with the bodily pain, somebody with the mental problems, somebody with the job related issues, family issues, relationship issues, so many things in this world. Nobody is happy actually. The gap between the two miseries is we call happiness. Now there is no misery, so we are happy. But as soon as misery comes, Hare Krishna, welcome, welcome, welcome. Aiye. So here, Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna, Dhaval bhai, can you read loudly for us? Yeah? Throat problem. Okay, Rakesh Prabhu, can you read?
He who meditates on me, on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me.
Undeviated.
From the path, he who passes is sure to reach me.
Krishna is giving guarantee. Again and again he is giving guarantee. How many times he should give? That Krishna is giving written guarantee in Bhagavad Gita, many places. Here he says, no samshaya. There is no doubt about it. If you remember Krishna, you will reach Krishna Loka for sure. There is no doubt about it, right? So should we all have a doubt about Krishna? When he is telling us so many times, right? Those who came from the beginning, I have some questions. Some of you joined later. So here is the question for all of you. Maybe you can participate, make it little interactive. You can choose A, B, C, D. Quitting one's body at the time of death in Krishna consciousness. There are 4 options here. When you remember Krishna at the time of death, what happens? Transfers one to the abode of Krishna Loka, relieves one of all relations, takes one far from this world, none of this. Vishnu? How about you, Isaac? What do you think? A? Is that the right answer? Any other answer? What is that? See, Swastik is saying, takes one away from this world. How many of you say all of the above, none of the above? A? Yes, the correct answer is that when we quit this body, yes, all others are byproducts. Of course, it takes you away from everybody else, right? Okay, next one. What affects one at the moment, at the time of death? What affects or effects? What affects? Thought of one's life, actions of one's life, both A and B, and none of this. At the time of death, what is that usually affects your thoughts? Thoughts throughout the life, actions throughout the life, both or none of this? What? Yes, Swastik? See? Any other answer? What you remember at the time of death is what you have thought about it, what you have done throughout the life, or both, or none. Karma, or vichar, yes or no? So the correct answer is C. That is correct. So whatever activities you have done throughout the life and whatever is your thoughts throughout the life will affect your thoughts at the time of death. So how can we fix our mind in Krishna? What instructions Krishna gave to Arjuna for fixing mind on him? Always think of Krishna, carry out prescribed duty dedicating to Krishna, both A and B, none of the above. Okay, somebody other than Swastik? Yes, Swastik? C is the correct answer. Big round of applause to Swastik. He is very particular, attentive. So he is the highest gainer here. That is, can you explain why should we think about Krishna and carry out the duty? No? So, because when we fix our mind in thinking about Krishna and carry out duties, at the time, we always remember Krishna. Right? So then, here in this chapter, Krishna is constantly giving us instructions about the examination. You can see that throughout. So, 14th shloka, you can repeat after me. Ananya chetah satatam yo mam smaranti nityasha tasyaham sulabha partha Nityayuktasya yogina. Ryan, Prabhu, can you read first?
For one who always remembers me without deviation,
Krishna is again telling the same thing. Can you see the theme? All the shloka, what is Krishna telling? Remembering me. For one who always remembers me without deviation. Yes, Ryan Prabhu.
I am easy to obtain, O son of Partha,
Pritha.
because of his constant engagement in devotional service.
Ah. So if you want your life, want to make examination easy, what do? Constantly, always remembering Krishna without deviation. Don't deviate. Deviation means today you remember Krishna, then holiday for 7 days, then again next Sunday. Does it work like that? If you work only 1 day a week out the 7 days, would you survive? Is that enough? You have to work every day, right? Roj paisa kamana padega. Similarly, you have to remember Krishna every day. So, ananya chetasah satatam, Bhagavan ka smaran ananya bhav se, always remembering Krishna. Then it becomes easy, it becomes second nature. अगर आप भगवान का रोज स्मरण करेंगे, if you remember Krishna every day, then life will be easy at the time of examination. What happens when we remember and go to Krishna Loka? So here, at the time of quitting this body, if we remember as per the instructions of Krishna, then we go to Krishna Loka. That when we go to Krishna Loka, what is the result of that? So here is the shloka, you can repeat after me. 15th shloka, Lord Krishna says, Mam upetya punarjanma. Mam upetya punarjanma. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Lord Krishna is saying, Mam upetya. When you remember Krishna throughout the life and at the time of quitting the body, then you go to Krishna Loka. And when you go to Krishna Loka, you have no punarjanma. Means no more getting these bodies. We are all getting the bodies again and again. Sometimes as a human being, sometimes as the animals, sometimes as the insects. But when we go to Krishna Loka, then we do not have punarjanma. And why do we, what happens then? Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Because in this material world, there is lot of dukkha. Dukkha means lots of problems, Ashashvatam. Ashashvatam means temporary. So Lord Krishna is saying, after attaining me, my devotees never return to this temporary world which is full of misery. This material world is full of miseries. So there are two types of miseries. One is relative and one is absolute. There are two types of problems. One problem is relative problem. Say you might have a problem related with your health, but I am healthy, I have no problem. So that's relative. Some problem, like somebody doesn't have a job, that is your problem, that is not my problem. Is that right or wrong? So those are called relative problems. But there are absolute problems. And what are the absolute problems? Which is common to everybody? Old age. How many of you want to be old? Nobody wants to be old, right? But it's everybody is going to. And then death. Everybody is going to die. And then after death, again birth. So Lord Krishna is saying, once we remember Krishna, then there is no need of getting birth again. Mam upetya punarjanma dukkhalayam ashashvatam. No matter what you become, everybody has problems in their life. Right from insect up to the topmost living entity. Everybody has problems in their life. So Lord Krishna is telling to Arjuna, after attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this material world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. How many of you have been in the jail? Jail में कोई गया है? कोई जेल में गया? नहीं, अभी तक नहीं गए. जाना पड़ेगा एक दिन. This material world is called as Durga. Durga means Mata Durga. Mata Durga is looking after this Durga. She is the jailer. She is not letting you out of this material world. So in this jail, if you are in a jail and they give you like a very nice facility, nice TV and nice bed, would you like it in the jail or you want to come out of the jail? If they give you all the facilities in the jail, cell phone, everything is there. How many of you stay in the jail? सब कुछ मिल रहा है, खाना पीना. Except you can't get out of the jail. How many of you want to go to the jail? Nobody? They give you food, shelter, clothing, everything. So similarly, the material world is compared with the jail here, because we are all bound with the laws. Everybody has to grow old and everybody has to die. Everybody has to get a disease. But when you go to Krishna Loka, then there is no such thing. So Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that when you go to Krishna Loka, then there is no death actually. In the 15th chapter, Purushottam Yoga, Krishna explains the description of the material world and the description of spiritual world. The material world is an exact replica of spiritual world but upside down. So in the spiritual world, what is love? In the material world, it is called lust. You understand? Prema and Kama, these are exactly opposite. In the material world is everything temporary. The same thing in the spiritual world is permanent. Hare Krishna. So in this 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Hare Krishna. Can you give me? Thank you. She's running away with it. Okay, so this is the very nice chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and Lord Krishna explains to Arjuna that in this material world, from Brahmaji a Brahma Bhuvanar Loka Punar Avrityana Arjuna Mam Upetya tu Kaunteya Punar Janmana Vidyate. Again and again, Lord Krishna is telling to Arjuna that from Brahma up to the smallest insect on the planet, nobody is eternal, everybody has to die. Brahmaji also has an expiry date. You know Brahma? Everybody knows Brahmaji? So Brahmaji also has an expiry date. So Brahma's life is explained in Bhagavad Gita in the next shloka here. So this is the chart which explains the structure of the universe actually. So this is one universe and there are innumerable universes like this according to Srimad Bhagavatam. And here I'm going to use the laser pointer here. Here is Lord Vishnu. Can you see this? So Lord Vishnu is on an ocean called as Garbhodak Ocean, and this Vishnu is called Garbhodakshai Vishnu. From his navel comes a lotus. On the lotus is Lord Brahma. From Brahma comes all the Devi Devatas, all the living entities. Everybody comes from Lord Brahma. And in this stem of lotus there are 14 planetary systems. And you are here. Where you are? On the earthly planet. You know, there's Om Bhurguvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam. Om Bhurguvasvaha. So there are planetary systems higher and planetary systems lower than the earth. So there are Brahmaloka, then Satyaloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, Maharloka, Svargaloka, and Bhuvarloka. And Bhuvaloka, and then Atal, Vital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal, and Patal. These are the lower planetary systems. Where are we situated? Exactly in the middle. These are all 14 planetary systems. So which is the highest planet? Brahmaloka is the highest one. And lowest planet? Pataloka. In between other planetary systems. But all these planetary systems, there are innumerable living entities. Innumerable means you just even can't count. 84 laksh yoni to hai hi, 8,400,000 species, but there are innumerable living entities in this species. And all of them are living in all the different planetary systems. But what is the common thing among all? Everybody has to die and take birth again. That is the common thing. So Lord Krishna is telling to Arjuna that Brahma Bhuvanar Loka Punar Avrittino Arjuna. You go everywhere, there is always repeated birth and death. But one who goes Mamupete tu Kaunteya Punar Janmana. But if you go to Krishna Loka, there is no such thing, because Krishna planet is not in the material world, it is in the spiritual world. And then in next loka, Lord Krishna explains the life of Brahma. How much is the life of Brahmaji? So he says, Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Ahartyad Brahmano Vidhu Ratrim Yuga Sahasrantam Teho Ratra Vido Janaha. By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together forms one day of Brahma. So 1,000 yuga means Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga and Kali Yuga. 4 yugas. How long is that duration? How long is that duration? So let's calculate it, okay? So here is the calculation for all of you, sorry. So Kali Yuga is, what is the duration of Kali Yuga? 432,000 years. This current age is called Kali Yuga, and the duration of Kali Yuga is 432,000 years, and currently we have just passed how many years of Kali Yuga? 5,537 years exactly. So how long is remaining now for Kali Yuga to finish? 4,32,000 में से 5,000 गए तो कितने रह गए? कैलकुलेटर 4,27,000. 427,000 years remaining for किसके लिए? कलयुग के लिए. अभी तो बहुत बुरा वक्त आने वाला है, अभी तो ये शुरुआत है, आगे आगे देखो क्या होता है. What is the duration of Dwapar Yuga? Exactly multiply 2. So 864. And then multiply that by 3 times, that is the duration of Treta, and multiply that by 4 times, that is duration of Satya Yuga. So that is the calculation, is very big calculation, right? What is the total? 4,032,000,000 years. And then multiply that by 1,000, that becomes 1 day of Brahma. And similarly, 1,000 cycles of night of Brahma. So 1 day is 1,000 cycles of 4 yuga, and 1 night is 1,000 cycles of 4 yugas. So such 100 years Brahmaji lives. How many? So can you calculate how many? That's beyond your brain, my brain. So what is Lord Krishna saying here in Bhagavad Gita? He says, by human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together forms 1 day of Brahma, and such also is the duration of night of Brahma, and such is the life of Brahma. It's a very long life, है ना? हमारी life कितना है? छोटा सा. So Brahma's life is long. So, but also he has to die at the end of this whole life. So the death is compulsory for everybody. But if you go to Krishna Loka, then there is no death. So with that, we'll pause here. But this Bhagavad Gita, 8th chapter, Lord Krishna is giving you the instructions that how we should quit this world and not come back again and again. What is the point in going in the same standard again and again? You can't pass the examination. Will you stay in the grade 6 forever? Yes or no? No, why? It's boring, right? You quit the school. I don't want to go to school now. It's enough. I can't pass the examination. Similarly, we are taking birth again and again. Sometimes as humans, sometimes as animals, sometimes as this, that. But it's time for us to think about it, okay? Thank you, everyone. We'll do the Aarti ceremony and take Prasadam. Anybody has any questions or comments? No questions? Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Let's do the Aarti ceremony. We request everybody to come forward for the Aarti and then we take Prasadam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. आगे आइएगा।